losers, welcome back to Beethoven's blog, the show where I talk about my boring fucking life because, well, actually I'm dead. I'm coming to you from the netherworlds because that's where gay people go when they die. You can't say that. The idea for the short film came from a picture of my ex-boyfriend and the school stoner when they decided to vandalize Old Man Pete's pumpkin patch as part of Mischief Night. It was just a prank, bro. So this Portland film freak named John reached out to some of his friends and bing bang boom, a movie's getting made. Don't worry, it's not holy water. It's just 7-Up. Okay, after that rousing SNL opening, hi, it's John, doing the vlog. So basically, I saw that picture a long time ago, and then the idea occurred to me to make it into a movie, and I couldn't stop giggling about it, so I just did it. I reached out to Debbie, who I knew had wooded property, and she was willing to host the shoot on her vineyard, so we had a location. So I knew Austin from, we both got cast in somebody's YouTube video about these Mormons that fight crime together. I already knew that Austin could do kind of a more unhinged and zany character, so I reached out to him about Linus, and he said yes. I met Alex when she had me read for a character at this table read for a feature film she wrote about a grad student shooting a documentary about a UFO, and I wanted the opportunity to work with her, so I thought about Charlie Brown characters that had long red hair, and I mean, it writes itself. And the perfect part for Debbie seemed to be Charlie Brown's mom. Just a plunger mute on a trombone is so funny. And then I had to find a great pumpkin, and I reached out to some people, and I was able to get Liam interested, who was just in Make-A-Wish. Everything was set. We picked a date that worked for everybody. What I had to construct was a baseball bat that could break. For the baseball bat stunt, what I have is my bat for reference. Got some of this foam sealant kind of stuff, which it puffs up when you spray and gets very firm. And I have a PVC pipe. And what I did was you can see this is where I sprayed foam on half of it. I turned it over, peeled it off, and I made a cut here so that way when it breaks, all it has to do is like slide out of this part right here. And I'm about to seal it over the other half here. And then I could shave it down and paint it to look more like the bat. Of course, it'll be dark, so that'll help. This is the morning after, and I need to carve this into a baseball bat. Of just a snappy transition. Not bad. Now, I've been making scarecrow costumes for a movie that Roman Martinez has been working on.
Do some dancing, yes!
There was a prototype of one of the jackets I made for the main scarecrow that wasn't quite working, so I made a nicer one for his thing. And I still had the old one, so I went ahead and used that. I had made these thigh-high boots as well, so I had the boots for it. What I had left to do was to make a mask. So thinking about the mask for a lot of my antagonists is very hard for me. I have a really hard time thinking specifically creatively about things like that, and most of the time they come out looking bad. It would be fine if it came out looking bad for this one because it's parody, it's comedy. And at one point I was fully just gonna hollow out a pumpkin and then carve some eyes and like give it like eyelids and make that part of the costume for Liam. Instead, I ended up taking the stem off of the pumpkin, and I thought about the beginning of Halloween 2, where all the Halloween movies, they like zoom in on a jack-o'-lantern at the beginning, and the second one, when they zoom in, the pumpkin starts to separate, and you see like the pulp and the strings of the pumpkin itself spread and it opens up on a skull. Okay, here's where we're at right now with the great pumpkin. Yeah. Alright, so I fixed it a little bit, so it's attached with these kind of like viney kind of things here on side to side. And if you like try to genuinely open your jaw, hold on. My chin under there. You can open it a little bit, but I just kind of like it dangling a little bit. You know, it's kind of like your jaw is almost rotting and falling off. This is what we ended up coming up with. It's got a real pumpkin stem here. I took red marker for the ridges of the pumpkin itself, and I splattered with a paintbrush after doing red oranges over this, splattering yellow paint, speckling it. And I had green fitted sheets, and like the fitted sheets have the elastic on it, I cut out just the elastic part, and I took pipe cleaners and poked them into the skull itself, and then I had clay, which I fastened to the pipe cleaners, and that's how I got the teeth on here. The pumpkin vines themselves. Hey, Charlie Brown here, making vines for the Great Pumpkin. I got this PVC cutter for $13 at Lowe's, and this isn't even all of it. This is a 20-foot PVC pipe that I got for, I think it was $8. I have a second one as well, but there's gonna be 2 longer ones and 2 slightly smaller ones, and I cut the longer ones into a smaller part and a bigger part here, because I'm gonna sort of tape them at the hinge so it bends a little bit further, and my plan is to stitch some green over that for the vines. I gotta make some leaves. I'm gonna use pipe cleaners for that. So I got pipe cleaners and I made the frames for some pumpkin leaves and some pumpkin flowers, and I have like no time to sew this crap before Sunday. Like no time. But we'll see what happens. And then I sewed gray sheet material over that. I made pumpkin leaves by taking pipe cleaner and then sewing very tightly around the pipe cleaner so it kind of looked like the veins of the leaves. This was all just for one visual gag, so it was a lot more money and time than it was worth. I also carved a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns. There's one which is an homage to Halloween. You can see the face. It's the first jack-o'-lantern in the first Halloween movie with the opening credits. And all the subsequent jack-o'-lanterns, which did not go to waste, because Debbie lives on a farm with goats and chickens. So the chickens ate some of the seeds from the inside, and the goats ate all the pumpkin on the inside of the shell. So nothing went to waste, and then the rest was able to go into compost. So sustainable. I had to make a miniature graveyard. This was the point when I just gave up, because I had spent so much of those like 3 months up to this point working on 3 projects. I was burnt out, and I'd spent an entire day making this, which is way longer than it should have, and I didn't have the means to carve as small as I was trying to. So they just kind of look like, it's an artistic choice that they look so mediocre. I used clay to make the graves. For the trees, I'm gonna cut to that here. So I've been making the trees for the miniature set here, and what I do is I braid together 2 sets of pipe cleaners, another 2 sets, so we get a very sturdy trunk. And then I cut up a bunch of this length of this hemp kind of burlap, pull this down, and then it looks kind of messy. I mean, just trim it a little bit at the top and all that. You spray painted black down the top and green down the top. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do, now that I've spray painted them all black, is I got some green. Black is for just a base layer. I think I broke it. It's just gonna add a nice top layer to these trees. And we don't have to spray all on the trunk, and we don't have to spray on the bottom of the leaves. This is just top down. I used the trusty dry ice method and water to make the fog. And I basically just did that on my desk here, hung a sheet, backlit it, made all the trees, made the graveyards, and made sure I got all my shots. So with issues, I just can't do it anymore where if I'm gonna be in front of the camera, I can't also be behind the camera.
Rolling.
Rolling camera, go ahead and roll sound.
Sound rolling.
The red comes up with the knife, take 1. Go ahead and take a few steps back, Alex. Are you able to see her in frame?
Yeah.
Can you, Alex, maybe just duck a tiny bit so you clear frame just a little bit as you're sneaking up? Are you able to see her in frame?
Just her hair. No, not at all.
Okay, perfect. We're just going to struggle for a second, and I'll go ahead and say action, and Alex, that's when you can slowly creep up and then make like you're lifting the knife. Okay, so we're going to struggle here for a second. Action! And we did the thing. Okay, cut. The reason why the Lester Finch movie worked out forever ago is because I was able to hire somebody to do the camera because my financial circumstances are different then. Just the state of the world is so obnoxious right now and unfair. So I can't afford anything like that. So that's why I'm the crew, the whole entire crew for all of my things. There are shots when I sat out of frame. There are some things where things were out of focus. There are things where I wish the frame would have been better, but I didn't know what I was getting until I got to the editing room, and that's just something I had to make peace with. Because it was slowed down, because I had to be both the camera and in front of the camera, I had to do a second day. So that was another $120 that I had to spend paying all the talent, making more bread, getting more food, etc. I didn't know until I got there that apparently wasps were a slight issue because Austin didn't know if he was allergic to them, and they were popping out of the ground at certain parts, and Debbie's like, oh, they'll go away after a while, and they did go away like 20 minutes later. All the shots that I got of Liam's character emerging out of the woods looked bad, so I did a pickup myself where I went out to basically the spot where I filmed the graveyard stuff for the Jackie movie. I just set up one light, I put on the costume in the dark, and I just rose into frame. I did it a few times, and it's so eerie because I did that at 2 a.m. so nobody was out. And then, as per the music, I basically winged it for all of the horror stuff. There's little hints, like musical hints at the song Linus and Lucy, which is if you've ever seen the Charlie Brown scene where everybody's like dancing all weird, like doing those, you know what I'm talking about. That's the song that Schroeder and Snoopy are playing on the bass and the piano while everybody's dancing. Although, can you turn the label away so we don't know it's root beer?
I don't know about you, but self-tapes, sometimes I just don't have the energy for.
Freaking killed the Berry Black one, though. It was like no
Did you
close
see
second
that
place for that
audition?
one. Yeah, I compiled all of them together.
Nice. Hey, I'm Irish, man. I gotta gotta make every character drunk.
Let's just go back to one because I think I might have
think
spiked one
Austin
there.
was wondering about
I told me that it was okay to join up. I didn't realize you
I should have specified sides. I'm sorry.
What is that animal? What is that? What is that?
I'm gonna guess.
It's not. Doesn't sound quite like a fox. Fox usually sound like ladies.
Excuse me, sir?
Like the kind you want to rush out and help.
When they catch something, it gets pretty crazy.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
jeez.
I'm gonna throw a light on you as well.
Yeah, it's just a Sasquatch. No big deal. Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Cat Dog. It was never my favorite Nickelodeon show.
I always liked Angry Beavers. Just a
Oh,
little bit
yeah,
more.
that
Hey
was-
Arnold.
I saw some Hey Arnold. I never was into it like other people were.
Yeah, I liked Hey Arnold. That was. I feel like that was like one of the better.
You
Oh,
know,
I was rolling.
They recently.
1F, take one. Sorry, I just threw that right in your face.
Soft Cloud, come on.
Soft sticks. Charlie Brown coverage, second half of the Great Pumpkin Story, take one. Soft sticks. Sorry.
Where was I during all of this?
I don't know. I never drew you.
The Great Pumpkin's real, Charlie Brown.
Fuck. Sorry.
Totally okay. We can cut away before we do that.
It's a good line.
Okay, so this is reacting to screams, take one. The redo. And action. So we're looking at fire. Brown and red, look for Linus, take two. And so I'll get pumpkin. Yep. And
Shame we couldn't afford a professional foot massager.
I'll write that in the budget for the next one. Okay. I did a shit job there. He's and the that play I talked about where it's like their peanuts are bad as hell. And then I'll grab on this side when you're ready. And you can put your arms under.
Right, sorry. Don't know why I forgot about that.
That's okay. Charlie Brown, because it's an unauthorized parody, they changed the names to everybody, so Charlie Brown is just called CB.
What if it was like a stand-up thing and they called it Roasted Peanuts? You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
That's the name of the musical. Action.
For Lucy! For Sally! For me! God damn.
Take your time, and when you're ready, action. Just the whole thing one more time. And
Messing up my bangs.
now I'll do a spot check for you. Action.
Good. Oh,
Oh.
bang. Bang check.
Bang check. Yes, bangs are banging. Oh, God.
Shame on you.
I'm going to get canceled. Action.
That has got to be a Taylor Swift lyric. Okay.
Maybe like minor annoyance, like you just had to like beat a rat or something. Or,
Oh, okay.
well, I mean,
Got it.
we wouldn't beat a rat. We would just catch it and put it outside. But, you know,
I love how you had
a mom that does not care for rats.
Take that, motherfucker.
And then one more time, have an angry face with it. And action.
Take that, motherfucker.
And then one last time, when you're lowering, after you lower the pan, spit on the ground one time and then say it. Action.
Take that, motherfucker.
Okay, and then one more time, spit and then say the line. It is just silly, but it's some
Okay.
options. And action.
Take that, motherfucker.
Whenever you're ready, action, just go ahead, Liam, and give us a roar. Jesus Christ, that's so funny. Okay, let's just do one more. So what's gonna happen is he's going to throw the pumpkin stuff at us. You're disgusted and confused. You're horrified. I'm relieved. I feel like that makes sense for all of our motives there. This is Pumpkin Guts, take 1. And all looking at the lens. And we're just gonna keep rolling longer than we think we need to, reacting to everything.
At the lens or the screen?
At the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Action. You guys lucked out. Cut.
Threw it all in.
I'm just rolling for 3 seconds here because Austin looks cool.
Thank you.
So that's how It's an Eldritch Horror Charlie Brown came to be. Thanks for watching, and just remember, if you hear whistle tones out in the woods at night in November, run away because Mariah Carey is going to get you. Mariah Carey, more like Mariah Scary. I can't claim credit for that. I'm pretty sure a drag queen said that first.